when you said that the Director General of the Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency, Clement Indes, said they only got the information 7 days after the dam was released. How would you describe the effectiveness of communication between Nigeria and Cameroon? Because this is not something based on the historical, perspective of it.
You hit the nail on the head. That will mean there's no synergy in terms of communication, because we've been having this issue of the dams open, whenever you have the yearly or seasonal rains. And by now, we will have thought that there's effective communication between the Nigerian authorities and the Cameroonian authorities. Obviously, that is not there. And that's why we are getting, that letter on August 21, when actually the dams have been opened on August 14th. I always say this, and I don't mince words when I say it. You see, the flooding issue, the opening of dams, is a security issue. And I don't think we have taken that serious. It happened in Ukraine, the war between Russia and Ukraine. Russia didn't want the Ukrainian troops to be able to level up to them quickly in Bakhmut. And what they did was just to bomb, that's the allegation from the Ukrainian side, bomb a dam, and then, a lot of communities underwater. So if we are people who are serious, we should know that, this dam opening of water issue is also a security issue. Because if we don't pray for it, we are at war with Cameroon and they decide to open the dam, half of Nigeria will be underwater. So why are we not thinking? We are not thinking as a people. And this has been happening year in, year out. We are not thinking. So by now, we should have moved to the point where we build those buffer dams. You should have moved to the point where NEMA will be telling us that this year they have, 10, 20 choppers that can reach people who are going to be displaced. The kind of images you see when there's flooding or the hurricane season in the US and other parts of the West, where you see people, they are picked from their houses, that shows we are a serious people. But this is what has been happening, and every year we look forward to February or so to hear that, there will be floods. And this is a climate change era when you're going to be having more of this kind of incidences. Just like you have flooding in these parts of the world because of the excess rains that we are having, in other parts of the world is heat they're experiencing. So climate change manifests in different, different ways. And this is what we have. And water is supposed to be a blessing compared with fire. Fire consumes everything, but water helps to regenerate the earth. And that's why you have the dams, which are supposed to serve those purposes. But unfortunately, we have not done what we are supposed to do. But again, I still insist that we have to start looking at what the state governments are doing. During the COVID era, every state had these shelters on high ground where people could relocate to. Maybe because nobody wanted to relate with somebody who had COVID then. Quickly they set up these shelters. Every state had it. So what has happened to those kind of places? Why don't we upgrade those kind of places if they still exist? And then because these people live in the riverine areas, the waterways, whenever we hear that these floods are coming, we move them to those places. So it's not hard dog running up and down asking for ecological funds for little things that they can do. So it's like I said earlier on, it's unfortunate that year in, year out, we are saying the same thing. And it's almost like we have become John the Baptist, crying in the wilderness and nobody's listening.